Welcome to the Bob and Tam Show today. I got something really great that I want to show you. You know, we're starting to go through and show you a few products, and we have in the past products that I believe in, good products, things that are going to hold up, and things that just last. Looking around for a new device to hold my phone on my bike. I had a setup here before. I wasn't going to show you the brand name that's on here. I wasn't real happy with it. It was a clamp that had a rubber band around it, had to hold the phone, and used it a little bit, but I just never felt good on a long haul. Especially out here, the sun's so hot, and that rubber band breaks. Well, I could lose my phone. And hey, nowadays with these phones being over $1,000, I'm not losing it. So what I ended up finding is a great product through Zero 3D. You know, we've seen them a lot of times at all the rallies out there, and we talk to them and stuff. And what's neat about them is all the people that kind of engineer the products, they all ride motorcycles. So they kind of got that feel of what somebody has versus some of these products and these companies out here sell stuff that, you know, they just design it, they put it on, and who knows if it works or not. So I've been kind of looking around, and what I ended up going with is their charging phone mount. And what's nice about this one compared to a lot of other ones, a lot of them have a wire that you have to plug into your phone and unplug it. And you know, I got that in the truck, and it seems like every time I get out of the truck, I grab my phone and it's still plugged in. So in this case, it's the pedestal where your phone, at home we have phones that just sit on the little, I don't know what they call those little things, those little circle pucks. And we set it on there and it charges at night, things like that. And thought, you know, that'd be neat. And when I started looking through the Zero catalog, I found out, hey, they got a charger that's the very same setup. And I don't have to deal with a rubber band or anything like that holding my phone. And we've got the OtterBox cases, and we have the Samsung phone. What's neat about this is they've got jaws, and if you look at the jaws here, they're actually curved in, which kind of makes it unique because once you put the phone in here, it's kind of curved in when you tighten it down. It gives it the, you know, no chance for it to fall out. Other thing is they put this little foot down here on the bottom to stop your phone from falling out of the bottom of it. So what you do is we take the phone and we'll slip it in here. Sits in the cradle real nice, and then you just kind of tighten it up a little bit. You snap this too, and there it is. That phone ain't going anywhere. It's as tight as you can get. So I have no worry about this phone. I shook it so much I turned it on. How easy it is to mount this up. It comes with I went with the perch mount because that's what I had on this one. I ended up just ordering the black one. I probably should have got the chrome, but who's going to see it when it's back here? This one's been black, and it's been on here since I got the bike, because it came off my old bike. They give you all the screws and everything, spacers, everything you need to mount that on here to fit properly. And they also give you a really great wire. Instead of plugging it into the cigarette lighter plug down there or someplace like that, they give you a wiring harness that's going to be long enough, and it's all coated. It's got plastic sleeve. It's all going to protect the wires and stuff. It's going to plug in the bottom. I'm going to zip tie it to the handlebars. We'll run it down here around the bottom of the gas tank, back here to the battery under the seat, and that'll be it. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to pull the seat off because that's going to be the easiest way to get to the battery because it's under the seat. If you've got the Harley-Davidson. You know, also, this mount will work on a lot of other bikes too. So they also make a clamp that you can put up here on the handlebars. They got, like I say, the chrome mount and the black mount for the perch. So there's other options you can put this on. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. Remember, my bike's not the super clean. I haven't been doing a whole lot of cleaning on this since we've gotten back from all the rallies from last year. And if you've never taken your seat off, there's actually just one screw in the back on the Harleys. You just have to loosen, take off, and you want to make sure you put a nice grip on it because you don't want to drop that screw and have to chase it around like that. Got it. And that's how easy it is to pull the seat. Now I have a heated seat, so it does have a clip down here that I have to pull off. Some Torx bolts that need to become taken out of there. This ended up just being a 3/8 bolt that I took out of there. It's probably metric too, but we'll call it 3/8. Okay, we got these two bolts here. Both of those are T40s that we're just going to loosen up and take off. And what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to take the tank completely off. I'm just going to lift it up enough to where I can get to the wiring harness so I can run the wiring harness down. So we have two more to take off on the gas tank. Underneath this little plastic cover here, it just pops right off. Make sure you get it back on because I have lost one on my other bike. There's two of these, one on each side. You pop off and they'll be the same size bolts. Be the Torx again that we're going to pull off of that side. And it's also good to try to not have so much gas in the gas tank. I think my gas tank is full. I keep it full during the winter time in case we're not riding a whole lot now. So I ended up having to disconnect the fuel line. I'll show you that in a minute. It's just a quick disconnect. You pull it down, it just pops right off. One of the things I noticed when I was taking off my other phone mount that was on here, that it has spacers, and you got to use these spacers that are in here. But the one I just took off was all plastic. Here they actually gave you metal sleeves to put on for spacers. So you know, that just shows you a little bit more quality that they have in their product. And thread them in. So you could use a little bit of Loctite on here, but in this case I'm not the, and they do have a little bit of a slide here. You can slide it and give you a little bit more room, clearance, things like that. You want to kind of make sure your grips don't turn when you're tightening this up, because if this would shift or move, it would be different from what you had from when you originally had it on your bike. So we're just going to kind of snug it up pretty tight, snug. You know, you don't want to go too, we don't want to do the mighty grip I used to always say. You don't want to snap them bolts off. We're going to go ahead and mount the phone charger on it. What you've got is it's attached. You can kind of see here that there's already kind of a ball on here. So you're going to put that on first, the collar, and then we're going to slip this guy on here. Just kind of snaps on to have how I'm going to mount it. I'm probably going to be more like where it's sitting at now. Next move is we're going to go ahead and attach the wire to it. It's not going to be noticeable to anybody if they look at it. And I'm going to cut off the zip ties as I go along here. When we get all done, we'll cut it all off. I ran it underneath the plate here, and we're going to go just right down here. There's a line down here, so I'm going to leave just a little bit of a slack here for a couple reasons. One, like I say, I'm going to get some different handlebars put on my bike here in the next couple weeks. On the way to Daytona, we're going to stop by, and we're going to get some new handlebars put on. So we want to leave a little bit of slack here for that reason. You know, it doesn't have to be, it's not like you just want it tight enough so where it's, you know, it's not hanging down here. These are actually supposed to be in this little holder there, and they must have came out somewhere along the line. I've got it just running on that line. I guess I'm going to put another one right here. We're going to put the tank back towards the front again. Okay, so we got it there. Here I can just lift this up and I can run the rest of the wire through here and I'll zip tie it. So the next thing we need to do is get to the battery. And you look at all these fine wires and what a mess we have in here. So what you have to do is, these are the two bolts we're eventually going to take out to get to the battery. But we're going to need to move a lot of things out of the way to get to them. So instead of disconnecting all this stuff, the easiest thing to do is just to release the little clips that they have. So there's typically these slide right out real easy, but it didn't come out. So we had to call these push-ins, and they should slide right out. But when I went to pull on them, that seemed to go that route, and which were better. Got a couple zip ties here we need to cut. Get the ECM out. There's some little clips here that hold the guy in. You just want to pop them loose. And it's all out of the way. So we can kind of look now and say, hey, looks like everything's kind of out of the way. It should be the exact same size as the gas tank was. And of course it is. Got it loose. What you got to watch is there's a little clip right here that it's got to be the back comes off first. Look how dirty my battery is. So we went ahead and got the two wires connected on here. Got the black on the negative and the red wire on the positive. And before we go any farther, we want to double check that this guy is working. So the last thing we want to do is before we put everything back together, we want to make sure that the phone charger is working. So we sit there and wait a minute, see if it's going to come on. There it is. There's our first sign that it's charging and it's going to work. So now we can put everything back together. I'm not going to show a whole video of putting this all back together. It's just in the reverse of taking it apart. That we are all done with installing the Zero mount. For my phone, it's going to be charging now all the time with that 15 amps. It's going to keep it up to going. I cut all the zip ties off, got everything back together, and it's working great. One of the nice things too is that this will be able to charge all the time. So we highly recommend this product. And if you go right down here in the bottom of the link, you can find where you can buy it from Zero, take you right to the site. I'm going to also have the link there for the Chrome setup and also for the bracket that you can hook it to your handlebars. So with that, we're going to leave you right here in the shop with one of our installs of the year on the Zero 3D phone charger mount for your bike. So we'll see you guys later, and we'll see you soon in Daytona and all the different rallies throughout the United States.